Hey Chanel, welcome to photo class. So here's some quick feedback. I like this series. You're looking at details. I especially like the red pipes here. This one is pretty cool. Um, but we'll do a couple of edits and uh, see what we can do with that. All right, let's see, get started. So I'm going to right click on your image, left click copy image, come over to Photoshop, File New, and Clipboard Create, and Edit Paste. Good. Um, this is fine in color, and the color balance is good. I think it'd be fun to see if I could straighten up this a little bit. So if I select all, go select all or Control A, and then edit free transform or Control T. If I come up to a corner, I don't want to stretch this, but if I hold down the Control key, look what happens to in the upper right corner. The double-ended arrow, which was going to stretch that corner, now turns into a solid white arrow. And if I click and drag that, I can pull this vertical line parallel to the edge of the frame here. And same with this one over here. If I pull it this way, it'll align it with the left side of the frame. And fix the keystoning here. There are specialized lenses for architectural photographers that do this job in the camera. It's called a tilt shift lens, and for your average Canon or Nikon, those lenses start at $2,000 and go up from there. So Photoshop makes that process a little easier. Other than that, the tones are pretty good. I guess I wouldn't change much else about this. All right, anything I would do with that? Not really. This worn out basketball left out in the weather, the tip of your shoe. It's slightly bluish, if anything, so maybe let's try that. I'm going to right click copy image in Photoshop, edit paste or Control V. I just laid it over the other one. There's a little bit discrepancy, but that's okay. Yeah, let's try a couple of edits on this. So Control B, and I'm going to warm it up a little bit with a little yellow and a little red. And see how the greens get greener instead of blue-green. Here's the before and after. It's a subtle thing, but it makes a difference. And then if we vignette the edges a little bit, that can help focus our attention to the center and to the focal point. So to do that, I'm going to take an elliptical marquee, hold it to the center, hold down Alt, click and drag to make an oval shape here. And see the oval. And now I want to feather it, so I'm going to select and mask and dial up the feathering. And OK to that. And I want to inverse the selection, so what I'm grabbing is what I'm selecting then is the outside corners instead of the inside. So select inverse. And when I'm darkening things, instead of levels, I generally use brightness contrast. So dialing back the brightness in the corners like that. You see this corner especially, lower right hand side and upper right, how, okay, Control Z before and Control Z after, how it's balanced out the light in the corners and brought more focus to the inside. Control D to deselect. So those two edits, warming it up a little bit and darkening the corners, that's some basic stuff that we can do to most pictures to improve them. See the difference between here and here? Okay, big difference, even though it's a subtle thing. It's interesting the way that works. All right, I wish this was sharp right here more. See how your focus is way out back here. and because it's a wide angle lens, it looks like on a phone, I'm sorry. The depth of field is pretty deep nonetheless, but still this is very close, and being out of focus like this and so close and large weakens this. So you can tap your screen to focus on the near point, and then it would probably stay in focus right up through here, and then very far background would go out of focus. Okay, this is good. Here's a couple of small edits again to refine this. Let's show you copy image, right click copy, bring back Photoshop, Control V to paste it in. I'm going to grab the lasso and bring up the contrast and light right through this interesting focal point here. Selected mask and feather it back. Oops. Actually, I want to feather it a little more. Okay, going to hide it and then levels it and bring up my highlights a little bit like that. Here's the before, Control Z, and the after. And let's look at that vignette. Control D. Holding down the Alt key, click and drag. Inverse. Feather. Excuse me. Hide it, Control H, and then image adjustment, brightness, contrast. I don't want to overdo it like that, but just a little bit darker is a nice touch. And here's the before, Control Z. Oops, it's not giving me. Edit, step backwards. All right, well, let's go moving right along here. And okay, so all right, I like the idea of this post breaking up the scene. It's a little unorthodox, but it's kind of cool. But the fact there's no light on it, it's kind of a deep shadow, doesn't help it. Looking at the garbage strewn around here, this is cup here and newspapers. You could even focus on that as this broken curbstone. Some of the disrepair in this neighborhood and some of the garbage people throw around is kind of an interesting project. So yeah, the light back here and the dark here keeps this from being as strong as it could be. I saw that you had a couple of other images posted in a second post. Let me come down and go to newer post here. I think, yeah, there they are. And when you click, for everybody else who's watching, when you click on the image in the blog, then it takes us to the big version of it. It looks like you pushed the contrast on this one, so it's kind of cool, yeah. And the fact that you presented in this upside down kind of way is cool. And here's a good case in point where this is a nice sharp focus and it's predominantly big and right, this bright building back here is what is distracting. So let me go File, New, and I'll create and paste, Control V, and Crop Tool, and I'm going to just crop that out. And because it's so bright, I can't darken it. And this line is pretty vertical, so I'm just going to hit the crop tool. This is your focal point. I'm going to open up the shadow side, oops, a little bit. Hold on. And feather. Control H to hide it, Control L for levels. I'm bringing up the highlights and the midtones just a little bit. And desaturating a little bit, Control U is the shortcut for that. Control L again. See, I can control all the color balance, the saturation, the contrast with these feathered selections. Deselect that. And this corner up here, right there. Let's just darken that a little bit, so feather it out. And image adjustment, brightness, contrast. Okay, so there we have it. It's tuned up a bit from this. Okay. This I like a lot, though. Might be your strongest one. Edit. Don't forget to edit. It's so important. Taking the picture is just the beginning, and the editing is where we really bring it all together. Great. See you on the blog.